Hey everybody, Aaron Zamzow from FireRescueFitness.com and the Better Every Shift podcast. Today we're going to talk about the difference between motivation and discipline and how we can work those two traits together to help you make more fitness progress. When it comes to improving your health, improving your fitness, motivation and discipline are two very important factors that really will contribute to your success, but they do operate in slightly different ways. So let's look at motivation. Motivation refers to that internal or external reason, that drive that gets you to pursue a particular goal. It's the excitement, it's that desire, that enthusiasm that kind of pushes you to start working out, starting to eat a little better, starting to drink more water. It can really stem from various sources, such as just wanting to improve your overall health, improve the way you feel, improve the way you perform on and off the fire ground. It might be started because you signed up for a particular event or a bet that you have with your crew. It might even be just to get that revenge body from an ex. Whatever it is, it's that it's what gets you started and keeps you going in the initial stages of workouts of your fitness journey. Now, discipline helps you establish healthy habits and develop a structured approach to training, to nutrition, to recovery. I like to think of discipline as a system that prioritizes fitness and sets realistic goals, gets you to eat more healthy and consistently showing up for yourself to really help accomplish your goal. Now, staying motivated with your fitness, improving your fitness, and staying motivated to get your workouts in and to eat healthy can be a challenge, but there are several strategies that you can employ to help you maintain motivation over a long period of time. We'll talk about 5 of them. Here's your first one. Set realistic and meaningful goals. We always talk about, when we talk about goal setting, is make them SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant or realistic, and then have a time frame to them. I think that's really important when you talk about fitness goals, because working with clients over the years, people would say, well, I want to tone up or I want to firm up. What does that look like? What are your expectations for that, and how will you know when you get there? Having that particular goal really helps stay motivated on those days where it's either too cold or you're too tired or you have too many other things to do. Personally, I like to use my uniform pants as a motivator. If they start to feel a little tight or I can't fit into that particular size, that is my goal. And I usually set it up into 4, 8, and 12-week increments where you can measure your progress throughout that time. And that's the second thing, is make sure you track your progress. Using an app helps. If you're old school, even just writing down what you do day to day, checkoff sheets are all great. But look at how you are making your progress, not just from the standpoint of what's good on the scale or what you see in the mirror, but think about some of those other factors. How do you feel? Do you have more energy? Are you sleeping better? Do you have more patience with your kids? I think it's really important to track and log your progress as you go through your fitness journey. And it doesn't matter if you're just starting or you've been doing it for 15 or 20 years. Personally, I like to try to say, hey, this next month, I'm going to try this, work on this. And then in 8 weeks, this is my goal. In 12 weeks, and continually set and monitor your progress. The other thing is, and I like to say the number 3 thing here is get others to join you. In the fire service, we really like to use kind of pressure or peer pressure, sometimes for the negative if you don't bring in the donuts or you didn't bring in that good treat. But we can also use it as the positive. Challenge your crew to get more fit. Challenge your crew to work out consistently with you. Challenge those around you, family members. Have them get on board with you. The more people you have around you doing the same things you are, the easier it is. And again, then you can continually work to motivate each other. Maybe your motivation is waning, but your significant other or your other crew members is not. So that way we can build each other up and provide an environment that motivates you. Number 4 thing that will help is to set up rewards. Now, this goes back into tracking your progress. I also believe that you have to incentivize yourself. If it's maybe a vacation, if it's maybe a new pair of shoes or some new clothes, as you make your progress, set little mini goals, things that you can kind of put along that journey to sweeten the pot. I like to buy new workout shoes, and I'll try to set up a goal. Hey, if you get your workouts in, buy the workout shoes. That's just what works for me. It doesn't always work, but it goes back to really setting that goal, understanding what you want to accomplish, and then marking that progress, and then rewarding yourself again along the way. And then number 5, I touched on this one a little bit. It correlates with number 2. Think about progress maybe a little bit differently from time to time. It's always nice to have that goal, but you have to think about some of the other factors that will be improved when you're working out more consistently. You have more energy, you sleep better, move better, you feel better. You must constantly ask yourself these questions, like, how am I feeling? I think the more you do that, the easier it is to stay motivated, because you will then be able to kind of correlate, hey, I'm working out, I'm able to touch my toes. I'm working out, I have more patience with my kids. I'm working out, I'm actually getting more stuff done at work and with the crew throughout the day, and I'm more productive. So look at some of those other extra variables when you're thinking about health and when you're thinking about fitness. These 5 things will really, really help you stay motivated throughout your journey. Now, we touched on some ways to help you improve your motivation and stay more consistent with motivation. Let's look at some ways that we can build our discipline. Now, this is also a little bit difficult, but with some consistent effort and a few strategies that we'll give you now, I think you'll really make some progress in having not only better motivation, but staying disciplined, which in turn will help you improve your overall fitness. First and foremost, you have to set up your routine, and you have to set up a consistent routine when you look at workout schedule and even nutrition. Think about your eating plan and eating schedule. Plan out workouts ahead of time. You need to plan meals, and even plan days where you're not going to necessarily follow the diet or follow your eating plan 100%. You have to even plan some of those cheat days in there as well, I think. But by planning these things out, looking ahead at your schedule, knowing where, hey, I have all these things scheduled for Tuesday. I'm not going to be able to work out that day, but I'm going to make sure I get it in on Monday and Wednesday. I have a heavy schedule on Tuesday, so I'm going to make sure I pack a lunch and have my breakfast all set up and a snack that's packed and ready to go with me. By looking at your schedule ahead of time and creating a consistent routine, you're going to have much better discipline. And then the second tip to help you build discipline is to gradually progress. Gradually try to improve and to challenge yourself. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make is, especially in the fire service, where we have some individuals that usually were athletes or were maybe in better shape at one point. When you go back to the gym and start your fitness routine, you think you should be right where you left off, and that's never the case. The moment we start to feel stronger, we have a tendency to really push past where we are, where our body's ready to be. So make sure that with your plan and your goals, you gradually build progress into that. Same thing when it goes to like running. You don't want to just open the door and run 5 miles if you haven't for years. You want to make sure that you start with walking and then run walking. And then along with this too, think about the other intangible traits that go with this. And we'll touch on that a little bit more in number 4. For now, think about setting your goal and then progressing nice and gradually with your progress. Now, the third thing is to find some activities that you enjoy and make sure that those activities match your goal. Here's what I mean. Engaging in exercise sometimes can be boring, so find things that you enjoy doing. Taking the dog for a walk, pulling the kids around in the wagon. For me, I like to walk at an incline on the treadmill and read at the same time. So I try to combine some things and multitask, but you have to find something that, hey, I will only watch particular programs if I'm on the treadmill or riding the bike or doing some type of fitness activity. That's a great way to stay motivated, and it's a great way to build discipline. So find things that you enjoy doing or combine activities that you enjoy doing that get you more activity. Now, the second part of this is make sure that your fitness program matches your goal. I mentioned that we have a lot of firefighters, EMTs, paramedics that when we get back in the gym, we try to train like we used to. I see a lot of men, not to pick on just the guys, but we used to play football and you go back in the gym and you bench and you squat like you're still playing football. Look, that doesn't match your goal, or it shouldn't match your goal as a firefighter. Your goal as a firefighter should be to improve performance, reduce injuries, and prolong career. And that maybe isn't the best way to do it. So make sure that your program matches your goal and that you incorporate activities that you know you'll enjoy. And now the fourth thing here, and I started to touch on this, is make sure that you practice self-discipline in other areas of your life, including nutrition, sleep. It could be reading 10 minutes a day to try to improve your skills as a firefighter, as a leader, or as a parent. Whatever that might be, practice self-discipline in other areas of your life, and it will transfer into your fitness. This is especially true when you talk about nutrition. Make sure that you're staying hydrated. So one of the disciplines you need to work on is hydrating every single day. Reducing sugars. And we talked about planning ahead with your meals. So make sure that you put that into your routine. Where during the week you're going to pack a lunch, or you're going to start with a good breakfast. Whatever it might be, start to practice discipline, self-discipline in these other aspects, and you will really reap the benefits, not only in the fitness side, but also you'll see improvements in the way you sleep, in the way you handle people, and the way that you perform as a first responder. Now, motivation may fluctuate, and that's completely normal. When motivation wanes, rely on discipline and stick to your routine and your habits and your system. Create your system that will help you be more healthy, that will help you be more fit. Motivation will get you started. The discipline will help carry you through those times when you're not so motivated. And remember, this is a journey. It is your journey. Don't compare it to someone else. Look internally for motivators, chart your progress, set a goal, get others to join you, create your system, and I guarantee you will have a more prosperous life and be a better, healthier first responder.